What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby and welcome back to another video. Hopefully you've seen my message in the Discord and on my channel. The content is going to be changing slightly now. I'm not going to be posting daily because it is very tiring, but we are going to focus on a few more independent subjects and hopefully going more into depth into the analysis itself. So we're going to be starting today, and we are continuing from the previous two videos. So if you haven't seen those, I do suggest checking it out for the week. But I want to look at what to do, or what I do when price doesn't go as planned, and that's what we have happening today. So this week I anticipated that price was going to create the low on Tuesday, trade higher, and ideally run out this high create the low on Tuesday, trade higher, and then ideally take out this high which I had marked out here, which is also a relevant equal high in relation to these highs as well. But you can see that on Thursday today, price didn't continue to trade higher, but instead completely turned around and ran back below these stops and deeper into this weekly breaker, which I've delineated with these orange lines. So just for context sake and for any new viewers, I called out this breaker as being significant for price, in that I'm happy for price to tap into it, but I want to see us leave it. Looking back at it now in hindsight, it is a weekly breaker, so it makes sense that on the weekly we are essentially playing around inside of it. It's just that I didn't anticipate us to rush back into it on the Thursday, and that's what we have, which means that it's likely that the high was actually created on Wednesday, which was yesterday. And so what I'm going to talk about today is how I adjust to these kind of environments and what you can do hopefully to help you guys adjust in similar moments. So what we'll do is we'll go down to the 15-minute. And if you remember in yesterday's video, I did speak about how if price goes below this is an hour, sorry, let's go to the 1 hour. This is an hourly fair value gap, and once we ran that hourly fair value gap, I was happy and very much expecting that price was going to keep running and take out our buy stops. And what helped me with this was the fact that I gave myself boundaries. I said, if price doesn't respect the 50% level of this fair value gap, the hourly fair value gap, which you ran to beautifully, if it doesn't respect it, then I don't want to trade it. And it wasn't until 9 p.m. that same night that price actually disrespected it. Yes, we came back above it in the morning. We fell short of this high, and then we had a change in the state of delivery. We had a break in market structure here. So as soon as this got violated, which is consequent encroachment, which should have been respected, as soon as that got violated here at 9 p.m. the previous night, as soon as that got violated, that's when I didn't want to get involved. And moving into the next day, I wasn't very keen on going long, because it wasn't playing along. If it was going to remain bullish, it would have respected it, but it didn't. And that told me instantly, okay, it's likely we're not going to trade higher. And that obviously I didn't anticipate us to run so aggressively to the downside. That's one thing. Like, I'll hold my hands up. Of course, I didn't expect that, but it told me that it's unlikely that price is going to be able to reach up here, because this was indicative and was a PD array to me in that price isn't going to want to continue that bullishness. So that's how I was looking at that. But what we can do is we can take a look at this turn and think about how we can adjust to it now. So we've had a large expansion to the downside. We know we've created the high for the week. We're moving into Friday, which is the last day of the week. So it's likely that the high and low tends to get made on the Tuesday and Thursday, meaning that the chances of us retracing and just consolidating for Friday is very high. So moving into tomorrow, I'm going to be very conscious of that. You know, as much as we have a nice swing low here, as much as we've displaced very aggressively here, you know, the probability is that we're likely going to retrace and probably consolidate. This doesn't mean I have to trade it. Personally, I wouldn't be trading at this point because, one, it's gone against my bias. But at the end of the week, we've had a large expansion on the Thursday evening. Like, it's not very highly likely environments. But in terms of what I'm anticipating now, or what I'd be anticipating in this environment, is that we're likely just going to retrace back into the range and maybe pull up to this wick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear up the charts just a little bit and take a closer look. And remember, this is a breaker range, but I'm also going to get rid of this, and I want to pay more close attention to where price is drawn to. And you'll see here that we're actually drawn into this volume imbalance. And why is it volume imbalance? Because there's no volume inside it. So what now? Well, there's also a fair value gap below here. So, you know, it's very possible for price to want to continue to trade low and potentially close the fair value gap. But as I said, it's so typical for price to create the low on a Thursday. The idea of price wanting to take out another low on Friday is very unlikely. So with that in mind, I now want to see price retrace. And now it would be a matter of figuring out, okay, where do I want it to retrace to? Well, we have a high here, significant swing high before the move down, and we have a significant swing low before, on the back of the low we've made. So what we can do is we can draw out a price range, and price always returns to equilibrium at some point. Equilibrium is very relevant to price. And now what I'd have my eyes set on is this. Now I'm not saying price is going to trade to it tomorrow, but I'm saying that if we're going to stay within the range, and it's very unlikely we're going to take out this low, there's only one other place for it to go, and that would be the midpoint equilibrium. So this is the level which I have now delineated. And as we drop down to the lower time frames, we can start to try and have a look to see how price may want to potentially get there. What kind of hints do we see? We have a gap right here. We can see that as soon as we created the low, price came straight back off it and was quite much in a rush to get back inside the range by the looks of things. And if we go down to the 5 minute, we can take another look as well. So cool, we have a nice premium target as to where I want to see price trade if we're not going to create any more lows, because like I said, it's not likely for us to create a low on a Friday. It can happen, but it's very unlikely, which means that there's only one place where I want to see it go, which would be the midpoint here. And then to help me support this, like what I'd be looking at now is, okay, if price is to go here, what is the most I'd allow price to do before I before I don't want to be involved? And you can see here we have a nice 5 minute fair value gap. Let's see, is there one on the, I don't think there's one on the 15 minute. There's not one on the 15 minute. So I'll drop down to the low time frames. We have a 15 minute inversion fair value gap where we traded on the downside, upside, and as far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to drop anywhere below this. So if there's any kind of low that's created tomorrow on Friday, this will be the very lowest I'd want to see price trade. If it goes through it, so be it. I don't want to be involved. But price should be able to stay above it. Ideally, it doesn't even get below this low it created, this weird gap that we have here. Ideally, it doesn't even get below that. But this will be the lowest I'd want to see price trade. And I'd like to see it wander up towards our equilibrium. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to reach equilibrium today or by the end of this week. It might only get up to here and then finish it off early next week. You know, time and then price. As in, what time is it? And then where's price is what I'm saying. As in, if we get to, say, New York session and it's Friday, and we haven't moved much, it's unlikely it's going to make it all the way up there on the Friday afternoon, isn't it? But if it gets to, say, London session and we've already pushed up and above these highs, then it's likely it's going to want to reach it in New York. So I'm taking all of these things into consideration. We have some beautiful relative equal highs here and a consolidation. Price loves to return to consolidation. I spoke about this multiple times. So I'm going to mark that out as buy side liquidity because these are relative equal highs. So it'd be nice to see if price can trade up to there. And we will drop down to the 1 minute. I don't really play around. I don't want to play around in 1 minute too much. But what I'm saying is that, and also we have this massive gap that's been created. So basically overall, I'm looking for us to return back into the range. But hopefully all that context I just gave you helps you frame and understand how I approach the markets when price doesn't go as anticipated. That's going to bring me to the end of this video, guys. Again, this is going to be the first, new type of video whereby I'm not just doing a daily review. But we're actually looking at technical analysis. I hope you find it useful. And it'll be interesting to see how price delivers. And if it does, I'll make sure to make a post in Discord and make sure to make a post on the channel for you with a little follow-up. But other than that, don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the Discord. All of the links are in the description. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.